If you've been waking up at 3:33 a.m. for the past few weeks, this video is no coincidence. You have been called. There is a silence that only you can hear. An emptiness that pulsates inside your chest at the most unexpected moments, as if something old is trying to communicate through a language that you have forgotten, but your body still recognizes. Perhaps you've noticed that the people around you seem to be asleep awake, caught up in empty conversations and superficial worries, while you feel waves of energy that no one else seems to notice. You may have even thought that there is something wrong with you, that maybe you are too sensitive, too intense, too different. But what if I tell you there's nothing wrong? What if all of this is the exact opposite, a sign that you are awakening to something that most people will never experience in this lifetime? You have been placed on a specific frequency, a select group of souls who carry a silent but fundamental mission. And now the time has come for you to understand why. Because the universe does not make mistakes, and you being here reading these words is already the first confirmation. You didn't click on this video by chance. You have been guided here, and if you're still watching, it's because your spirit recognizes something that most people don't see or feel. There's a reason why you've felt different lately. One reason why your sleep feels fragmented, your body heavier, your emotions deeper. You were placed not by chance, but by cosmic alignment in Group 7. In the realm of higher consciousness, Group 7 represents those souls who are going through the final phase of Earth's great awakening cycle. These souls are not only spiritually sensitive, they are spiritual instruments tuned into frequencies that most cannot hear. They are here not only to awaken, but to anchor a new frequency into the collective matrix. The signals are already arriving in your body, your dreams, your intuition. But since no one has ever explained them, you've probably questioned your sanity or tried to hide how you feel. This video is your confirmation. You're not alone. You're not imagining it. You have been assigned. And now we've decoded the 7 unmistakable signs that prove you're in Group 7, and why this moment is not only sacred, but urgent. Let's get started. There's something quietly strange going on inside you, and you may not have the words for it yet. It starts with a subtle change. Your breathing feels different, not in a medical way, not in a breathless or laborious way. In fact, it's the opposite. It's deeper, slower, but not because you're slowing it down. It's as if the breath itself is now guiding you, instead of you controlling it. You find yourself at times when you're not even trying to inhale, and yet their lungs fill up at a wave-like pace. Other times you exhale and feel as if you are releasing more than just air, almost as if you are exhaling energy, emotion, or memory. If this has started to happen to you, it is a powerful sign that your soul body is taking control of your breathing body. And this only happens when a soul has entered Group 7. For most people, breathing is automatic. It is unconscious. But for ancient spiritual systems, the breath is the carrier of the spirit. In Sanskrit, the word prana means both breath and life force. In Chinese tradition, qi moves through the body with each inhalation and exhalation. And in Group 7, this wisdom becomes visceral, no longer a theory, but a lived reality. You may find that during quiet moments, your breath begins to lengthen, as if it's aligning you with something. At first, it may seem unfamiliar, even scary. Why does it feel like something is breathing through me? But over time, you start to notice that your breathing is no longer random. She is responsive. It adjusts based on your environment, your emotions, even incoming spiritual frequencies. You may even feel emotions suddenly surging after a deep breath. Tears without a story, laughter without reason, a feeling of lightness or tingling down the spine. These are codes of release, not memories, not thoughts. Vibrational echoes that your body has stored are now being dissolved through a breath that is no longer yours alone. It is the breath of your higher self, of the multidimensional you. You're not just breathing air, you're breathing light. This change is irreversible. Once your breath begins to operate at this level, you will never be able to ignore it again. You will begin to recognize how shallowly the world around you breathes, how much is being lost in haste. You may instinctively slow down around others, not because you want to, but because your breathing requires it. Your body is no longer functioning in survival rhythms. He is tuning in to the time of the soul. And for Group 7, that breath is the first thing that changes before everything else follows. Something strange is happening in your dreams, or rather, right after you wake up. You open your eyes and there is a knowing, a complete idea, a solution to a problem, a vision. Sometimes it's crystal clear. Other times it's a fragmented phrase, a symbol or a blueprint that doesn't make logical sense but feels real. It looks familiar, as if you had received knowledge from somewhere else. Not learned, not read, not taught, just received. If this has been happening more often, it is a sign that your pure etheric channel is wide open and you have become a receiver of interdimensional intelligence. This is one of the rarest but most potent characteristics of a Group 7 soul. You can write something and be surprised. You can speak the truth out loud and then ask yourself, where did this come from? These are encoded downloads of light, bypassing the conscious mind and entering through your auric field, especially during sleep when your ego walls are low. That's why you often feel exhausted in the morning, despite having slept a full 8 hours. Your body rested, yes, but your soul traveled, worked, learned, reconnected with advice, guides, and old aspects of yourself that you forgot in this lifetime. And now the information is being returned. Most people will never understand this process. They will call it imagination, random thoughts, but you know better. You know the difference between a random idea and a broadcast. The wisdom that comes to you now should not be stored. It must be used, shared, lived. You're not dreaming. You're remembering. You're not guessing. You're getting it. And that is how you will know that you have been placed in Group 7, because not everyone is ready to receive this frequency, but you are. You look at your shadow, perhaps during a quiet walk or under a flashing streetlight, and suddenly you feel something stirring inside you, a strange sadness, a weight in his chest, or perhaps an unexpected calm, as if a message had just reached him without words. You ignore it, but then it happens again. Your own shadow begins to feel alive, not in a scary way, but in a way that makes you stop and feel. If this has started to happen, it is no coincidence. For those who enter Group 7, the shadow becomes more than just a blocked light projection. It becomes a reflective field of emotion. It is as if your shadow is now carrying echoes of your past selves, old patterns, and unreleased emotions. And in those quiet, accidental moments of noticing her, something deep begins to stir. You can feel it stretching abnormally in front of you or changing shape, even when the light hasn't changed. That's not your imagination. Your energy body is evolving and your shadow is beginning to reflect it, not visually, but vibrationally. Some days it feels heavier, like it's carrying what you've just emotionally released. Other times it feels distant, as if you've outgrown the version of yourself it represents. In ancient lore, shadow was never just a visual trick, it was a portal. And for Group 7, it is becoming a tool, not to be feared, but to be integrated. If your shadow has started to affect your mood or emotional state, even subtly, don't ignore it. You're not losing your sanity. You are experiencing a return of your own spiritual system. Your shadow is reminding you that there is more going on beneath the surface, and you are being prepared to bring it all to light. Something has changed in his vision, but not in a way that an eye exam can measure. His eyes suddenly seem more sensitive, as if they are perceiving too much. You notice tremors of movement that others don't see. You detect micro-expressions on people's faces. You notice the light bending in strange ways. even indoors. Some days you feel overstimulated just when walking into a store, like the colors are too high, the patterns too chaotic. If your eyes have started to react like this, it's not overstimulation. It's a sign that your third eye and physical vision are starting to merge. For the souls of Group 7, this is one of the clearest changes. It is as if the veil between what is seen and what is true is fraying. You don't look at things anymore. You see through them. A look becomes a reading. A photo reveals emotion. A quiet moment with your eyes closed seems more vivid than reality itself. That doesn't mean your vision is broken. It means that your perception is expanding beyond the visual spectrum. You may even feel pressure behind your eyes or moments of intense clarity after blinking. These are adjustments, energetic upgrades. As your spiritual vision calibrates, you may also find that you are more affected by eye contact, attracted to certain people, repelled by others. That's because your eyes are now portals, and every look becomes an exchange. If your vision has become sharper and more overwhelming, it is not weakness, it is initiation, and it means that you have crossed the threshold of Group 7. It starts quietly, almost too discreetly to notice at first. You're going about your day and suddenly everything inside you pauses, not out of fear or distraction, but out of a deep and inexplicable calm. It's as if your body goes into stillness for a moment, even though nothing around you has changed. Then, moments later, something happens. A message, a call, a shift in energy. It's small at first, then undeniable. You felt it before it arrived. For most people, events are things they react to. But for Group 7, the body begins to pre-sense what is coming, and this calm is the sign. It seems that your energy sinks into the earth, landing deeply. Even if it's just for one breath, the air can appear denser, your hearing more attuned, and then suddenly something unfolds in the outside world that corresponds to the exact moment when you plunged into silence. You can feel it before you get news, before someone speaks, before you walk into a room. There is no warning, just that moment of stillness. Don't ignore it. That deep calm is your soul reading the code of the moment before it is written. And only those who are awakening at this stage are able to receive it. This is not anxiety, it's not hypervigilance, it's activation. You have crossed over to a level of consciousness where time bends and your inner world speaks before your outer world catches up with you. When it happens, trust, this calm is not silence, it's communication. You're in the middle of a sentence and suddenly you can't find the word. It's simple, you know, but she slips away and her mind goes blank. Moments later you say something else and it reveals itself to be deeper, more instinctive, more real. If this sounds familiar, you're not losing intelligence. You are experiencing a shift from linguistic thinking to intuitive channeling. And this is a mark of Group 7. The modern mind is conditioned to speak from memory, logic, and language. But Group 7 is shifting to a telepathic and intuitive operating system, where inner feeling and knowing begin to replace stored vocabulary. This creates times when your brain forgets the familiar word, not because you're failing, but because your energy is trying to communicate something higher. You'll notice that this happens mostly when talking about spiritual topics, emotions, or personal transformation. The mind slows down, but the soul speeds up. This change is sacred. It means that your spirit is taking the lead, and your voice is becoming an instrument of higher insight. Let it happen, even if it seems strange, because what is surging through you right now was never meant to come from memory. It was intended to come from the source. Lately, you've been feeling a strange sense of return, not to a place, but to a version of you that seems deeply familiar, but completely unfamiliar. It is as if something old is awakening within you, and although you can't name it, you feel it coming up. This sense of coming back to yourself doesn't come with clear memories or reasons. It comes with energy, A gentle pull in your chest, a sense that something is rearranging itself within you, that your past, your purpose, your path are all returning. For the souls of Group 7, this is one of the final signs. The illusion of who you thought you were begins to fall, not dramatically but subtly. Your interests change. Their priorities realign. People who once seemed close begin to move away, not because of conflict, but because their frequency no longer matches. And all the while, there's this quiet inner whisper. This is who I've always been, I just forgot. You don't have to figure it all out at once. You're not becoming someone new. You are discovering someone eternal. The version of you that has always been in the background is finally taking a step forward. If these signs speak to your spirit, not just your mind, then something profound is unfolding within you. Group 7 is not about labels or levels. It's about a designation. You have been placed in a group of souls designed to hold a higher frequency, connect timelines, and stabilize the change that is now unfolding in all of humanity. You're not crazy. You're not broke. You're ahead of schedule. Your body is changing because it's responding to new codes. Your emotions run deep because you're processing more than just your own. And your path can feel lonely at times, but that's only because you're walking ahead of the curve. Group 7 began to remember. And now you too. So what happens now? Now you stop doubting, stop trying to fit into a reality that wasn't made for you. You begin to honor these signs as the sacred language that they truly are, messages from your higher self guiding you back home. Every deep breath, every vivid dream, every moment of calm before the storm, all of this is part of a map that only you can read. The world is going to keep accelerating. People are going to keep sleeping. But you now know that you are on a different journey. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being true to the frequency that your soul came to anchor into this plane. Group 7 does not seek recognition. It does not need external validation, because confirmation comes from within, from that quiet place where truth lives. And if you've made it this far, if every word has resonated like a familiar echo, then you already know. There's no turning back. You have crossed the portal, and on the other side, your real mission is just beginning.